Welcome to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about the max towing package F150 and what it is, what's all included, and what makes it the highest towing F150 that you can get. So this is a 2018, so it's a little bit different from what you can get in 19, what you can get in 2020, but it's close enough to where if you're gonna get one of these trucks, or if you're looking for one of these trucks with the highest level towing, the 13,000 pound towing, this is very similar to what you'd be getting right now. So if you're looking for one of these, if it's 2017, 18, 19, 20, it's going to be very similar to this. So what you get with the max towing F150 is the 3.5 liter EcoBoost with the 3.55 rear end. Now that's pretty unique because previously, before this, most vehicles from Ford or any other manufacturer put the highest towing configuration with the highest numerically rear gear or the lowest rear gear. So usually in the case of an F-150, the highest towing package would have a 3.73 rear gear, compared to in 2018 they started offering the max towing package with a 3.55 rear gear. I don't know why they did that. I don't know how they figured that the highest towing configuration should have a 3.55 rear gear, but it could have something to do with the overall MPG ratings of all the vehicles they're selling. If they give the 3.55 and a very popular package such as the max towing package, then overall their vehicles can be considered more efficient because they anticipate selling so many max towing F-150s. Generally, the 3.55 is a rear gear that you get with the 2.7 oftentimes, and it puts it in a real good place in the power band compared to the 3.73. But higher gears, or lower gears but higher numerically gears, generally do give you more towing capacity, but in this case you get the highest towing capacity with the 3.55. That being said, you still get a really high towing capacity with the 3.73, but that would be the max payload package, which you can still get a 6.5 foot bed, a 3.73 rear gear, along with other upgrades, mostly all of the same upgrades. The max payload package would actually just supersede the max towing package, and ultimately would have a little bit lower towing rating, but it really wouldn't matter because you gain a lot more payload, which you need in order to do the towing. But looking at the package, what all do you get? You get, with the max tow package, you get a 6.5 foot bed, which gives you better stability when towing, and it is noticeable when you put a lot of tongue weight on this truck compared to a short wheelbase truck like this. You get a lot more stability with this truck. It's heavier, it's got a longer wheelbase, which gives you more control. Furthermore, when you go with the max towing package, it puts you into a 20-inch wheel. It also claims to give you some updated sway bars in the front. It's hard to see the difference. I really can't see any difference. They also give you a upgraded rear spring, and we can look at the rear spring right now, and then we can shoot over to the other truck. To me, the rear springs look exactly the same, but when you build the truck, they do claim to be upgraded. Looking at the two trucks, this one, yeah, it does look a little bit lighter, like a little bit lighter duty of a spring, not quite as heavy gauged as the max towing spring, but you guys can probably tell a little bit better. Yeah, these springs look a little bit heavier here on the max towing truck compared to my wife's truck, which is not a max towing configuration. So also with the bigger bed, the bigger tires, the bigger springs, is you get a 36-gallon fuel tank. Now that is a good thing to have because your range, if you're really driving efficiently, your range can get upwards of 500-600 miles out of one tank, which is really nice. So with the max payload package, you can add a payload package on a 3.5 or a 5.0. The 5.0 is ultimately going to get you the highest payload package, but the 3.5 will get pretty close. But this, we're talking about the max towing package. Looking inside of the truck, at the time when I ordered this truck, getting into the max towing package would give you the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. But since 2018, in 19s and 20s, that feature has been more common amongst more trim levels than just the max towing trim level. So it's more available in different packages. So depending on what year you're looking at, if you're looking at 18s, then you could be looking at a max towing. But generally, the max towing is going to have the other features with it as well. A lot of people have told me that they can't get the 2.7 EcoBoost with the 6.5 foot bed, which is really a shame because a lot of people really like the 2.7 EcoBoost, and you just can't get it with the longer configuration. I don't know why Ford did that. One thing about having a longer configuration, if you're looking at these trucks used, the longer configuration is going to have a longer drive shaft. It's going to have a carrier bearing compared to the short wheelbase, is going to have a one-piece drive shaft. Now, it's not a big deal for a new truck, but for a used truck, you have to think that when you get into the 150, 160, 180,000 mile range, that carrier bearing can be pretty expensive to replace if it goes out. And there is no service. In a lot of cases, you got to replace the whole thing, the whole drive shaft. So having that bigger drive shaft is not always a good thing when you're looking at high mileage trucks. Something to think about. It's not the end of the world. You know, if you need a longer bed, you need a longer bed. You got to you got to do what you got to do. But be aware that drive shaft could end up costing you. It's not the most common thing to fail, but something to think about. But that's pretty much it. You get a 13,000 pound towing rating, gross vehicle weight rating, truck and trailer combined, I believe is 18,000 pounds. When you look at a high level truck like this, a high trim level truck like this one, this is a 502A trim package with a sunroof, so it pretty much has everything. And you look at the weight of the truck I think weighs about 5,400 pounds. And you look at towing a 13,000 pound trailer, taking the exact weight of the truck and the weight of a max trailer, there's just the right amount of weight in the truck that you could actually tow 13,000 pounds and still be at 18,000 pounds gross vehicle weight rating with a high trim level truck. So you can get lower trim levels. You can do this in a high trim level. As one common misconception is that you have to get like an XL. You don't have to. You can get a Lariat. I don't think you can do Platinums or anything. I'd have to double check. You might be able to, but you can get Lariats for sure. You still can. It might have changed, but I'm pretty sure you still can. This is a high trim level Lariat, and there is enough gross vehicle weight rating available for you to tow with one of these heavier trucks. One caveat to the whole thing is that Ford has an overall over-encompassing rule to towing of 500 pounds of tongue weight maximum for any truck without weight distribution. So even though you can tow a lot heavier than, say, this truck, at the end of the day, Ford doesn't want you to put more than 500 pounds on the hitch on any Ford F-150. So it kind of limits you to about 5,000 pounds generally if you want to really follow every rule without a weight distribution. That being said, have I towed more than 5,000 pounds without a weight distribution? Yes, this truck handles it just fine. It handles easily over 500 pounds of tongue weight, no problem. And there's no issue with the longer wheelbase. It helps out a lot. Have I done it with a truck similar to this? I've done it, and it does okay as well. It's a little bit more squirrely with the short wheelbase, but it still can do it. So can it be done? Yes. At the end of the day, you probably should follow the manufacturer's recommendation, because if something happens and you get some good Johnny Cochran lawyer coming after you and they find every little thing to blame you, they could blame you that you didn't follow the manufacturer's recommendations, and it's easy to go over 500 pounds of tongue weight. So that's one thing to consider. You know, it's maybe time to step up to a Super Duty, like over there. I don't know if you can see, that's kind of far away. like over there, if you just want unlimited tongue weight. Super Duties in the past, when you're looking at like 16s, I know I had a 15, and it only had a maximum tongue weight rating of 500 pounds without weight distribution, and that was a recommendation from Ford. I don't know if that's a legal recommendation. It's written right on their hitches. It probably has something to do with the weight of the trucks, the overall weight of the vehicle, and the dynamics that the vehicle would have at higher speeds. But even though Super Duties only had maximum tongue weight of 600 pounds, according to Ford. Now, the new Super Duties with the aluminum body, they have a 1,500 pound tongue weight on their hitch. Let's see if I can find that. It's kind of wet down there. I don't know if I can. Nope, I can't see it because it's underneath this rubber. But, no, I can't see it. But yeah, these have a 1,500 tongue weight, a 1,500 pound tongue weight available. Whereas the F-150s, that Ford, I think they could raise it for the longer wheelbases, but they just have an overall blanket policy of 500 pounds or less tongue weight without weight distribution. So if you really want to do things right, if you're going to tow 13,000 pounds, you really have to read the fine print and find out if your trailer has too much surface area, if it's too big of an enclosed trailer. There's some rules. If the frontal area of the trailer is too big, they have some guidelines there. You really need a low heavy load in order to get that heavy with weight distribution. Maybe if you had some kind of a weight distribution that you could adjust on the fly, and then a dump trailer or something that you filled with material, because usually weight distribution hitches need to be adjusted for the weight of the trailer. So if you had a dump trailer and then you loaded it, then you'd have to readjust your weight distribution. It would be a big headache to really use the maximum towing capacity of the truck anyway. But it's still good to have. If you're going to tow 5,000 pounds, maybe you'll go over, maybe if you're even going to go over the maximum recommended tongue weight from Ford by 100 pounds or so, and maybe tow 6,000 pounds or whatever. It's nice to have the max towing package. It's nice to have the 36-gallon fuel tank. It's nice to have the 6.5-foot bed and the added stability of the long wheelbase. So at the end of the day, I think it's a great package to have. And I will say, this is one of the meanest looking trucks on the road, especially when you get the tow mirrors. I got the tow mirrors from the factory. See if you can open them up so that we can see how they look, because the truck looks real aggressive once these mirrors are open. Let's see here. First I gotta turn on the truck. I don't know, it's not letting me. Let's see here, and then press that, then boom, they open up. Turn it back off. But yeah, when the tow mirrors are out, the truck looks super aggressive, and with the magnetic paint and the LED headlights, the truck looks real aggressive. So anyway, guys, that's my explanation of the max towing package from Ford, the max towing F-150. Comment below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.